Hi, I'm Randy.
And I'm Brandon.
We're here at the Mott Innovation Center, and we're going to be today making a video going over the basic OBS configuration. And now, Brandon, you have a lot of experience with OBS.
Yes, I am a partnered Twitch streamer, so I work with OBS all the time. So that's going to be a fun little video to make.
All right, now great. Now, say I just downloaded the program and I'm getting started. Could you go over the various steps that I would be taking to create my own stream experience?
Sure. We're going to go over a few things here. We're going to create and edit some scenes. We're going to add some sources to the scenes. We're going to rearrange and edit some of those sources, and then probably going to go over some settings as well.
Great. So let's make a new scene then.
Yeah. So you see, we already have a scene here made, but we're going to go ahead and show you kind of how we got to that point. So we're gonna go ahead and call this Randy Scene.
Oh, that's a great name.
Randy Scene. All right. First thing I always do is add a background. So we're gonna go over here. You add under sources, hit the plus button, and then you have all these other sources. We're gonna go ahead and add an image. We're gonna call it background. You see, we already have one labeled background there. That was for the other one. We're not going to cheat. I'm going to show you guys how to actually go through and get them. Download pictures. We downloaded a few images, put them in a folder. Yep, it's exactly how we want. We don't need to resize it because it's the exact size and shape we want. And I don't want to move it around later, so we're going to lock that thing down.
All right, now what if I wanted to add a logo?
Again, a logo is a simple image unless you have some sort of crazy logo that moves and stuff, but even that would be a GIF probably. So we're going to name it logo. Naming is very important so that you actually know what the heck is messing up if something messes up or you want to move it or anything like that. So here's my personal logo. We're just going to take that and minimize it up here in the corner where it was before. And then again, I don't want it moving, so I'm going to hit this little lock button and make sure that that doesn't go anywhere.
All right, and now we don't have a webcam source, but could you go over how to add that to our scene?
Right, yeah, we don't have a webcam here, unfortunately, to play with, but we're going to go ahead and add a video capture device. I'm not going to go all the way through these because we don't actually have one to add, but here's where you would choose your device out of, if you have more than one webcam. You choose which one you want there. And then there's some settings down here. I wouldn't mess with those unless you actually know what they do. That's kind of more of in the advanced tutorial. So we're going to cancel that. And we do have an image that, go figure.
Yeah, Mr. Weatherman here.
Superman! And we're going to use him in place of someone with a green screen. And it is gigantic. I don't know what the original image size is, but it's much larger than 1080p. So here we have him down here in place. And you'll see we're hanging him a little over the edge because we don't really need the whole thing. So we'll put him right there. And again, I'm locking him down.
All right, now that we have most of the kind of overlay things set up, how do I display the content that I want? Whether it's the background of an application or my desktop, things like that, or a game.
Right. Yep. So that's a very important part of this. We're going to go over here. You could do a couple different things. Game capture is one of them if you want to target a specific game when it pops up. Or you could, in the case of what we're doing here, we're literally only showing you OBS. It's not taking up our entire desktop. Something like that would be, where is she at? It's window capture. So if you want to just if you had a game that was windowed, you could capture that. But what we're going to do is just capture the entire display, whatever's on your entire monitor. We're going to call that, well, it's already display capture. We'll call it that. And as you can see, it's crazy and obnoxious. We get this screen right here because we have more than just OBS open. And we want to capture all 1920 by 1080. So we're going to take that, and this covers something we're going to talk about a little bit, resizing. We don't need that thing giant taking up the whole screen. We can move her down here. And we can only have it on when we want to. Because one of the features here under sources, we saw me using this lock thing, which I'm going to do again, but you can also use display capture and the eyeball. When you press the eyeball, it makes things go away. So like background, well, we want our background. So we're going to turn display capture off for now for the sake of the video, but that's how you capture it.
All right, and how about capturing an audio source? say I have an external USB microphone or something along those lines.
Right. So what we're doing now is we're using the one microphone we have access to. So it's just like the webcam. We're not actually going to go through the whole setup, but you would come up here to audio input capture, hit OK, and then you can choose the devices. Right now we're using a Blue Yeti that we're capturing this on, and we're not going to choose that because then it'll mess up on what we're actually capturing the video on. So we're not going to go through with it, but that is how you choose your audio input device.
All right, and now say on my webcam background source, I also had a green screen background. How would I go about editing that out? And in the case of our Mr. Weatherman there.
All right, so in old Mr. Suit Guy, we're going to find him down here in the sources, and we're going to right-click and hit Filters. And you can add filters. You see right here we have, I don't know if this is displaying, but there's a chroma key filter that we're going to add. Hit OK. Sweet.
Say I wanted another overlay for a notification to my viewers when someone just subscribed or donated or anything like that I see other popular Twitch streamers using. How would I add that?
Right. You go up here to the browser. We're going to make this alerts. Alerts. And then we're going to go to the URL, which we already have pre-copied from streamlabs.com, which is where I get all my alerts through. There's multiple sources. I like Streamlabs. It works for me. We're going to move that on over here to the middle of the screen. Now you can resize this, put it wherever you want. You can make it gargantuan, take up the entire screen, but we don't want that right now. So we're going to make it whatever it was, about default size. And then when I go over here to the website, and let's just say someone subscribes, right? You can change this little GIF that plays, you can change the wording, you can change the coloring, you can change all sorts of stuff. But it just kind of lets you know someone has done something, right? Followed, subscribed, something like that, donated, any of the following. And so much more, actually. But that's just one of many browser sources that you can add that may enhance your streaming.
All right, and now say I wanted to transform that, say I wanted to rotate it or flip it or anything like that. How would I do that?
All right, there's a nice little thing right here called transform and then edit transform. Let's say you wanted it for whatever reason at a 40-degree angle, right? Or if you don't want it tipped that way, you could see here, let me drag the box over. You can see it tipped it that way. Well, I want it the other way. So you go -40. Then you have, for whatever reason, you got a dude doing the running man on the weatherman. So, you know, you can make it do whatever you want, really. We'll make him get a donation here. John's donating $78.
Oh, that's very nice of him.
It's wonderful.
All right, so before starting to stream, are there any settings that I should be aware about?
Yes, most certainly. Come up here, you hit the nail right on the head. You go up to File, hit Settings. There's a few things we want to talk about in here. General tab, I generally don't mess with any of this stuff. You can go through it, look at it if you want to, but that's not for this this video's purpose. First thing I would hit is stream, because you got to get this video out to the internet somehow, and that's how this works. You got to choose your source, be it Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Live, whatever people you're streaming with, and then you hit use stream key in the case of Twitch. So there's a link here, you click the link, it takes you directly to where your stream key is on Twitch's website, and you copy and paste, enter it in here. That's how, like I said, it knows where to put this video out on the internet. Next one is going to be output. What we have here is video bitrate and encoder. I don't mess with audio at all. We'll talk about recording in a second. Video bitrate. You'll see ours is already set to 4,000, but it actually comes at 2,500 default on OBS. So it's something you're going to want to look at. We're going to go over here to a different browser source and show you guys. We are actually making this video at 720p 60 FPS. Now you'll see here that the suggested bitrate from Twitch is 3,500 to 5,000 kbs, which translated to what you're normally used to hearing with internet terms, that's about 3.5 megs to 5 megs per second. So you have to make sure that, first of all, your hardware can support that type of encoding, but not only that, your internet upload speeds need to be capable of doing that. Now you can see there's a whole bunch of others for 1080, 60, 1080, 30, 720, 30, all that. We're just really kind of focusing on this one for now, but there's a website for it. Google it.
What about the encoder?
Great question. So you see right now where it says software X264. That means that it's actually streaming or encoding off of our CPU.
What are other options, I guess?
Well, you could go off of hardware, which this one is a built-in, what is it, QSV or whatever. That's Intel's built-in graphics. It's garbage for trying to stream off of.
What if I had an NVIDIA or AMD card?
Right. Well, then you're going to find hardware and an NVENC option for NVIDIA. And I don't know what AMD's encoding option is, but it's going to be under hardware, and it's going to say something along AMD, something. So generally, I would actually suggest most people stream off of their hardware, so off your video card, just starting out.
Great. What about video settings?
Video settings down here. That's a good thing to talk about. Video. We go down here. Baseline is 1080 by 1920 by 1080. I'm sorry. It's whatever your resolution is for your monitor, whatever your native resolution is. Output is at 1280 70 720. And that is basically what we want to stream at. And then we're going to go down here. This is usually stock at bicubic 16. I like to put it at Laxos. I don't even know how to pronounce that. But sharpened scaling, 32 samples. And then we mentioned that we were 60 FPS. So we're down here at 60 FPS. Done and done. That's what we are choosing for our settings. You can always stream at 720 30. 1080 30, whatever you had chosen earlier.
Right, so if my hardware didn't support streaming at 60 FPS, I'd want to bump that back down to 30.
Right, if you find you're skipping frames or anything like that, I would try backing my settings down, as well as earlier we talked about in the bit rate. You'd want to bump your bit rate down a little bit.
All right, great, thank you. Basically, I guess we kind of really went over how to edit scenes, adding all of the sources to the scenes, rearranging and editing the sources, as well as just some of the basic settings that you can use to really ensure that your stream experience is working for you.
Right, and there's so many more settings and things that we could go over, but for the basic settings, this is a perfect reference.
All right, thanks for helping make this video, Brandon, and again, thanks to the Innovation Center at Mott for providing the hardware and stuff used to create this.
Yep, it was my pleasure. All right, until next time, I hope you guys have a good streaming experience.
See ya.
Bye.